You know, from time and time again, I keep hearing people say that they have nothing to hide. And that's actually not true. And to be honest with you, I used to be one of those people that claimed that he has nothing to hide. But the only difference was, I actually started to admit to myself that I actually do have a lot to hide, just like everybody else because we're human. But at least when I used to say, like, oh, I have nothing to hide, at least I was still willing to make it, to clarify on certain things. Sometimes I would clarify a little bit more by saying, except for secrets and other things that, need to be hidden from others because I can't just trust everybody. But I didn't always clarify that because I always say, like, oh, I'm an honest person. I have nothing to hide. I know I'm an honest person, but if nobody had anything to hide, privacy wouldn't exist. And I've heard this from girls telling me, like, oh, I got nothing to hide. And of course I said the same thing just like I said to all the other guys. If you have nothing to hide, why don't you give me your personal belongings? Why don't you leave the door unlocked whenever whenever you're in the house? Whenever you leave the house, why don't you leave your door unlocked so that everybody can just have access to your food and access to your belongings that you and your valuables that are in your closet or your safe if you have one. And here's the list of things that would happen if we had nothing to hide. We would be giving our Facebook password to everybody. We would be giving our credit card information to everybody else, including strangers and next door neighbors. I would give my pin number to my next door neighbor and any other stranger that's around me. Yeah, and I also wouldn't lock the door if I'm changing my clothes. I wouldn't close the window. I wouldn't close the curtains or the blinds at night when it's time to go to bed. I wouldn't have any secrets. Well, lies wouldn't exist. There's so many more, but I guess I'll just mention one more thing. If nobody had anything to hide, we wouldn't be wearing clothes. And this is a question I always ask people. To those of you who claim to have nothing to hide, here are my questions for you guys. Would you give me your bank account information? Would you let me have access into your Facebook account? Would you tell me the names of all your family members so that I can look up information on them? Would you want me to follow you around and see where you live? And if you had nothing to hide, why are you even wearing clothes? Better yet, why do you even have secrets? Why do you have shame? Do you have any modesty? These are the kind of questions I would ask. Because everybody has secrets, everybody has shame, everybody everybody has something that they've been embarrassed about, and that's just the bottom line. So I hate it when people say that they have nothing to hide. I mean, you could say it, but at least when you get older, you should at least, get over that way of thinking and start to mature a little bit because it's not right to continue thinking like this. And I hear this from some people who are in their mid 40s saying that they have nothing to hide. And here's what I've learned: the people who say they have nothing to hide, they are the ones who have the most to hide. That's a fact.